Today, let's chat the importance of prioritizing your pleasure at this time of essentially a crisis that we're in, right? Let me preface with this. When you hear the term pleasure, I know that we innately translate that to sexual pleasure. However, today I am talking strictly about sensual pleasure. That's a moment of joy that is ignited by the senses. This can be something as simple as taking a bath or the taste of a great piece of chocolate, etc. That's what I mean by sensual pleasure or a moment of pleasure. I want to go over 3 reasons why it is important to prioritize your pleasure. And I do have my little notepad here because if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I can get carried away or sidetracked within the conversation. So I'm going to keep myself on track with my notes. Number one reason to prioritize your pleasure is it allows little to no room for others' opinions. Right now we're living in a time where everyone is telling everyone else what they should or shouldn't be doing at this time. And when you begin to prioritize your own pleasure, you no longer look to other people to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, right? At that point, you're aware of what feels good to you at this moment or what you need, what brings you joy, what is satiating to you right now. You're able to identify those things when you begin prioritizing your pleasure. So if someone is saying, well, you need to go work out, you're like, you know what, in this moment, that doesn't feel good to me. Right now, I need sleep. I prefer to sleep, or I prefer to read, or whatever it is that feels good to you in this moment. I know that you're receiving an overabundance of information, and it can be overwhelming to a lot of us. It really can. Being able to prioritize your pleasure allows you to say, this is what I need. I'm going to disregard what they say because I am aware of what I need. So that's the first reason to prioritize your pleasure. Begin a ritual of pleasure seeking. Number 2 is pleasure seeking or prioritizing your pleasure is grounding. When you are prioritizing pleasure, you are in the present. It really invites mindfulness and leaves very little room for you to travel to the future or live in the past. Example, if I was to tell you right now to identify 3 things that are eye-catching to you, 3 things that are beautiful to you, right? I'll give you a second. Just identify 3 things. So look around. If you're sitting in your room right now watching this video or wherever you are, look around and identify 3 things that you find beautiful. And once you have them identified, identify why they are beautiful to you, right? What makes them beautiful? When you look at them, why does that bring you pleasure? I can use me as an example right now. I'm looking in front of me and I see a plant. Although I have plants all over my room, there's one particular plant that I see in front of me, right? And I think it's beautiful because it's vibrant. It's an example of living, evolving, changing, growth. In this moment that I'm identifying these things, I'm not worried about what happened to me in the past, what may happen in the future. I'm okay. I feel good right now. That felt good for me to identify that and to become present in this very moment, right? That's grounding. And you can use these same things with movement, etc. But it doesn't take that. It doesn't take all that. It takes you 2 minutes to do. Okay? So that's the second thing, is it's grounding. The third thing is you cultivate a healthier and stronger relationship with your sensual self. Once you begin ritualizing pleasure, you begin to strengthen your inner knowing, right? And if you hear doors, etc., it's because I have 2 kids in their home. So obviously my house is a little full these days. But you strengthen your inner knowing. You begin to identify what feels good for you and what you need. You spend more time with yourself. Literally, if I'm taking, let's say, a combined hour of a day, pleasure seeking, that's a combined hour of a day that I've spent with myself, truly nurturing that inner part of me and connecting, right, with self. So that strengthens your relationship to your sensual body. You begin to understand what feels good, and you begin to easily identify those things. And that's so important. So I would challenge you all during this time and further, to prioritize your pleasure. A lot of these times that we have where we're able to slow down, and we're invited to do that because a lot of us have no choice now, right? But to really slow down. But in these moments of taking it slow, identify what feels good. Find things that make you feel good. If you enjoy painting, paint. If that feels good for you today, because like the moon, we change and we evolve. We have cycles and rhythms. So today may be one thing, tomorrow may be another. Or how about this hour may be one thing, and the next hour may be another. Being able to identify those things and say, this is what I need right now. Right now, I need sleep. And that's okay. And being shameless about that, letting the people in the house or the people surround you, even if you're alone, whatever, but letting people know, hey, this is what I need right now. And standing in that and being okay with that and saying, you know what, no, I don't want to go run right now. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like taking your live class, if that's what it is. Whatever it is, you really need to be able to identify that. Or it may be, I feel like taking all the classes today, right? Because I rested yesterday. Yesterday was my day where I was able to rest. Now today I feel like taking all the classes. And I feel like joining in all the combos. Let me go over again the 3 reasons why you should prioritize your pleasure. First one is it leaves less room for others' opinions, right? Solely looking at yourself and allowing your inner intuition to guide you and take the forefront. Number 2 is this grounding. It releases anxiety, overwhelm. It really brings you into the present and invites mindfulness. Number 3 is you cultivate a healthier and stronger relationship with your sensual self, ultimately your sensual body. You begin to understand what feels good for you and what you need, and then that invites you to speak more, to really open up the throat chakra and say, you know what, this is what I need. This is what feels good. So those are the 3 reasons why you should begin prioritizing your pleasure if you haven't already. And if you already have a ritual of pleasure seeking, I challenge you to continue it. Don't stop. Listen to yourself. What do you need? And at the end, remember to breathe. Your breath is pleasure in itself. The ability to breathe fully right now is a gift. So prioritize your pleasure, breathe, and I'm sending you all love and virtual hugs.